about.
I might be confused here, but when the third impact started,
Mm-hmm.
that's something that happened, that would happen no matter what, right? But, I mean, like, Koru stopped it, but...
I don't think so, because it's the fact that Asuka was the pilot of Eva 3 that made it so that Shinji was down there. Then that's what caused them to decommission him as a pilot, use the dummy system.
Yeah.
Then the dummy system didn't work when the angel attacked, so they had to put Shinji back into it. It's like it's a cycle of things, starting with Eva 3.
Okay.
That's why I said that's the turning point, where it splits off from the main series.
The dummy system actually went in the series, in the TV series.
I know it did, but I'm saying that it's the fact that Toji was the pilot, was not the pilot of 3.
Oh, it was Asuka that triggered it.
The fact that they made Asuka pilot it and didn't recruit Toji, that's what caused Shinji to have his first really big emotional outburst, which then gave him the confidence to then do what he wanted, i.e. save Rei.
But then Rei wasn't involved in that fight in the anime series, I don't think, right?
Right.
So
no, she was. She just used the mine. And then she said
Toji?
there's no, and not in that one.
Toji and Asuka are switched, basically.
Yeah.
Right.
But
so if it wasn't
Rei didn't show up in the anime series.
Right, but that was because Rei wanted to do that party, that feasting party.
Did that happen in the series?
No,
okay, I didn't think so.
She wasn't there though in the anime series either.
Yeah.
Well, what happened was she was in deep slumber. I think that part. She was going through some kind of
See, I just don't remember some things.
I might be a little bit wrong on how I'm explaining it, maybe, but it's how I saw it was she was in that little hospital area, and then
she was in a coma or something,
right? And
probably
I think episode one of the final episode before fighting that big last boss character or angel was when she basically had some emotion. She only had emotions in the few two until she had to change into the third Rei, which was seen in the series, and Shinji then I get it.
So I guess the change from this timeline of the series to the timeline that Rebuild is now in takes place a bit earlier than the Eva 3 fight, because that's when you start having Rei showing emotion and wanting to do the party.
Yeah.
Makes sense, right?
So somewhere in there, I would have to analyze that scene really, where that all starts taking place, and then it would help if I saw the actual series. But so it's those subtle things of people just making slightly different decisions that start causing the timeline to change, leading up to big things like the change of pilot for Eva 3, Shinji having his emotional outburst. Those big things that set off big major events. They're set in motion by the small decisions that people make that are just a little bit different.
Now, would you say Mari actually triggered the whole thing, or would you say it was Rei's cause?
Well, where did Mari come from?
Well, Mari's a brand new character.
Exactly. How did she factor into this whole timeline decision thing? How did she?
That's the different thing.
That's what I'm saying, though.
What
decision was made on
her sheer existence, the whims of the universe just happening to have her exist and become an Eva pilot, and that is what brings that around. So having her be another one of the children also has a huge impact. The best way I can think of to describe it is, when they say, if you ever go time traveling, make sure you don't, step on a butterfly or anything, because you don't know what effects it'll have. That's what they're talking about. Because there's some random galactic event that happened God knows how many years ago that led to Mari existing and becoming an Eva pilot, and then getting wrapped up in this whole thing, causing Unit 2 to be decommissioned, causing Asuka to be the pilot of 3.
Okay.
That whole deal.
So, where are we going to go with this?
If you remember, you guys, about the U.S., that was the 5th Eva with the half thing. So that typically existed in the TV series, but they didn't show it because what was this? Was it Saji? Kanji? That guy.
Misato's
ex.
Yeah.
Ex-boyfriend.
Yeah,
Kaji. He there was a scene in there actually in the TV series. He just appears with the little back, the thing. Now Mari, I'm assuming, was there when this actually happened. She was never brought up because there wasn't really that part. Never existed in an animation series.
Okay. So she was always there, but wasn't ever.
Yeah, that's entirely possible, because that's we don't have the information to say that she wasn't. So it's a good theory to say that she could have been there.
That, and then when she got deployed to Japan for some odd reason, as like I think as a European, spy kind of thing, or the Eurogroup.
She's American though, isn't she?
I think she is, but then she got transferred to Europe.
It's so hard to tell because she's speaking Japanese.
But then she's speaking, like, English.
Well, like, broken English.
Still,
See, it's weird because she preferred to go with Japanese in the cockpit of Eva 5.
Yeah, I think she's Japanese, but she lived in America.
Okay.
That's what I thought.
That would make sense. Yeah.
Well, hold on.
See if the booklet's got any info.
Or, like, she's half Japanese, half American.
Yeah, I never actually considered that.
Yeah.
Keep on talking,
no, that's fine.
Anyway.
See...
Okay, it's born in England.
Okay.
Pilot of Eurobranch. She demonstrated her skill piloting both EVA Provisional Unit 5 and EVA Unit 2. Details about her are unknown.
Great.
But Masa knows. Masa knows.
No, I don't.
No?
But...
I figured there'd be details in 3.33. Oh, okay.
Remember, that's the part I didn't see.
Oh, right. You only saw the last half.
Well,
okay, so she is actually British.
She's British.
She's English.
Huh.
She's English.
Interesting.
She's a Brit.
But yeah, that's the whole alternate timeline things. Like, someone probably has like a side-by-side comparison online somewhere.
Yeah.
But that's where these little things cause the big things to happen that really derail everything into its own separate timeline.
Yeah.
Like the best example I can think of in quote-unquote conventional media would be there's an episode of Doctor Who where the character is influenced to turn left at a stoplight instead of right, and it completely changes the fate of the galaxy because she never meets the Doctor then, and then just all this crap goes down and things just get really, really bad. So one minor decision like that can lead to these cataclysmic events.
It's kind of weird to think about life like that, too.
So guys who are listening, if you think you have two decisions to make, rethink it twice. Rethink it third time.
The thing is, though, you don't really even think about it that way.
No. Yeah, it's just like, oh, well, I'm going to go... Like, you can never know what result your decision is going to have beyond your immediate goal. Like, you don't know if... Like, when we went out to go get the Minecraft card from Best Buy for Jane, we could have gotten in a cataclysmic car accident. Then, like...
Burst into flames.
One of us maybe have been the only survivor, and we could have been thrown into a bitter depression and tried to overthrow the government. I don't know. But something like that could happen.
So you're implying I'm an Asian driver?
No. I was implying that we would get hit. But...
More simple one, if I had never decided to go to Anime Club or the con. Or the con, or just,
or even if you hadn't been assigned to our car.
Yeah.
Then you wouldn't have really gotten to know us because you were in the other room, and then we wouldn't be hanging out and doing podcasts and all this fun stuff. Or if you
become just a hermit and just being on Tumblr all the time.
Well, yeah, but I mean, that's... I think Tumblr is one of the universal constants, so it's like, it's always a part. It's always there. It's always going to be there. But, so I think that's what the big thing with Rebuild is. I think that it's a linear thing, but the events that are transpiring are changing because of the different decisions that people are making. And apparently Kaoru having some memory, and then because of that, throwing a much more direct influence onto things.
That's why I was saying Kaoru is so strange, because how does he, if he does remember that stuff, how does he remember it?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Is it reincarnation?
He's Adam, too.
I was going to say, is it something to do with having the soul of Adam?
He went back to...
the moon?
The world. Like, when Third Impact happened, he was absorbed into that. When you're dead, you get absorbed into...
The Third Impact.
Wait, in the series?
Like LCL Pocket.
Yeah. Well, wait, are you talking about in the series, in End of Evangelion, in Rebuild? What are you talking about here?
Like in the series.
Okay.
Like, I'm assuming...
So I was going to say, he didn't get absorbed in Rebuild, he stopped it.
No, not yet. But, like, I mean, his... Like, the other thing that really bugs me is when Gendo and the vice, I guess.
Yeah.
Is that
okay.
Does anyone even know his name?
I don't remember his name, but
I
I
like
know
Shogi.
who he is.
He's amazing in Shogi.
Yeah.
He's pretty cool. I like him as a commander than the other guy, but when they were up in space and then Kaoru was like in a outer atmosphere with just pants. I think that was fan service to me.
There's that whole question too, like
where do you get the clothes from?
Where does he get the clothes? How is he breathing in space / not freezing / boiling / exploding?
Wait. So you guys look at that part. I'm thinking more. I'm more curious about the part when he called Gendo father.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of things we don't know about.
This is I feel like kind of like with the main series, Kaoru is going to be the main turning point for the end results because he's got all this other like supernatural influence to begin with, and then now has knowledge of a possible past reincarnation of the universe. Mm-hmm. Where is this coming from?
I think
why does he have this access, and then what is he going to do with it?
It's destiny.
Maybe he's God.
Well, yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, we've seen that he isn't going to let Shinji destroy everything for the sake of his quote-unquote love. Mm-hmm. So, is he going to be more of a hero character, possibly? Who knows? It'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, I'm interested in seeing that.
And I mean, and from a nerdy standpoint, I want to see this, like, the specifications of his Eva. Because the thing looks really cool. We've seen, like, 3 shots of it.
Yeah.
And we really can't see what exactly it is. Yeah. But it looks more militarized, definitely. Like, it's got the one visor helmet instead of actual eyes.
Looks definitely badass.
Yeah, it looks badass as hell. And then the other question is, was that the Spear of Longinus that he used?
No, it wasn't.
There are multiple spheres, aren't there?
They duplicate.